Hey guys, Scott here. Today I want to talk about Palworld, much like the rest of the entire internet, frankly, at this point. If you're still unaware of what Palworld is, it's basically a survival game mixed with the whole concept of Pokemon where you capture monsters and then you can put them to work or fight for you. It's got a bit of satisfactory elements as well. It's basically a whole bunch of genres sort of crammed into one, and it is doing numbers on Steam. It is one of the most popular games of all time on Steam. It beat Elden Ring. It's actually insane what this is doing. Jesus Christ is apparently playing this game. There are so many people talking about it, and with that many eyes on the game, it is bound to draw some negative eyes on it as well, some eyes that are glaring at it. And obviously these eyes that are glaring at it come from Twitter, and they are doing some absolutely unhinged shit like sending death threats over AI usage when there's actually no proof that AI was even used in the game. Let's go into that claim really quick. A lot of people are claiming that the game uses AI because there's a lot of designs in this game that are similar to other things in games from other genres and stuff like that. And admittedly, a lot of the stuff is similar, but there's no proof that AI was used in any way. With this many eyes on it, we would have seen proof by now. The only thing that people say when asked for proof that this game uses AI is they reference another game that these devs made a while ago in which you use AI art, which admittedly is stupid, but there's nothing to indicate this game uses it. Just because a design looks very similar to something else doesn't mean AI was used to generate it. It does mean that a lot of the stuff are just straight up ripoffs, which I will agree with. For example, if your argument against this game is that there is not a single aesthetic thing in this game that is original, then I would sort of agree with that sentence because, oh my god, everything in this game is taken from something else. The area transition sound is from Breath of the Wild. The UI is also very reminiscent of it. The whole concept of Pokemon in general. The actual Pokemon designs are just almost identical. That's just Electabuzz. Like, come on. And you can see here, there's like a whole thread of very, very close similarities between other Pokemon. You can't accidentally design things like that. Those are things that are just straight ripoffs. There's pretty much no getting around that. And I guess the real argument is, will that stop people from playing the game, even though things are blatantly ripped off? And obviously the answer is no. If you make your game fun enough and appeal to the right demographic, people are not going to care that a lot of the aesthetics are just simply not original whatsoever. And that is a pretty interesting discussion there. People will overlook the fact that, yeah, they just stole designs from a lot of different games and just sort of crammed it in here, but no one seems to give a shit. They're still one of the most popular games of all time. And yeah, it shows at the end of the day, people won't care as long as the game is actual fun. Now, if you're an artist or something, you're criticizing the game for, let's be real, blatantly ripping off UI elements, sounds, designs, all that stuff from other games, well, then I think you would be completely justified in criticizing the game. Obviously not taking it so far to send death threats over AI and stuff like that, but criticisms are certainly warranted. But at the end of the day, you got to realize that most people, they don't really care. There's not a huge moral obligation there. It reminds me of the whole thing with Hogwarts Legacy, where there was a giant, guffaw about not wanting to play it because people didn't want to support J.K. Rowling, and everyone on Twitter saying no one's going to play this piece of shit game, and it was one of the most played games of all time. So obviously the minority are the people that are being vocal about it here, and people are just going to overlook things like this that, again, admittedly are worthy of criticism because the game is fun. That's all they really care about. They're not going to have a moral dilemma going on in their head. They buy game, it fun, they have good time, the end. That's all I care about. So, does this game deserve all the drama around it? I don't really think so. Again, if the argument is that there is nothing aesthetically original about this game, then you would be completely correct. It's basically just taking assets from every other game and slightly changing them enough to make them their own. But as far as I can tell, there's no copyright infringement, there's nothing law-breaking, there's no AI usage, so I don't really think it deserves the hate it's getting. Again, it does seem aesthetically lazy, but who cares? If the game is fun, the game is fun, and that's really the most important thing to people that play these games. I'm not playing it, but it's not because of some moral high ground I'm taking. It's just, I don't really like survival arc-type games. I've just never really been a fan of that, so it's just not for me. But people that are enjoying it, that's great. Honestly, anything that puts pressure on Game Freak to make a better Pokemon game, even though this is not directly the same thing, it's not turn-based, anything like that, it's not really an RPG. Anything that draws ire is, I think, good because it means they will have to try harder. There are people saying that this game is already doing more numbers than Pokemon. I have to say you are on cocaine. That is not even, it's not even scratching Pokemon because that series is just mind-blowing how much money that they make. But hopefully they do take notice. However, what is happening is we're starting to see people really tipping on Nintendo's toes a little bit here. There's actually a mod that just changes it directly to Pokemon, and oh man, that is scary. Don't do that. Don't publicly announce that you've taken Nintendo's content and made it your own into a mod. They will come and assassinate you. It's not a good idea. But other than that, I do think this game has a future for sure. I'm just kind of worried that Nintendo is going to lay down the big dick of lawyers that they have and make a lot of... Because to a judge, they would have some pretty good arguments that a lot of these designs are directly ripped off. And so there could be legal issues there, and I wouldn't be surprised if they tried it. They have unlimited money, and frankly, I don't think these devs have unlimited money, so they might just lose by default because they just can't stay in court long enough. So, I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen with this game. I just know it's absolutely insane what it's doing right now. It is one of the biggest fads I've seen in recent memory that just blew up like overnight. And I wish it all the success in the world. I am just a little worried about Nintendo, laying down the law there. So we'll see what happens. But that's Palworld in a nutshell. Does it deserve the drama right now? No. Does it deserve the criticism for not really being original? Sure, I think that's fair. That's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.